Good morning, everyone. It's Arthur Torella. It's January 26th, the day after. Anyway, I just got an email from the township's new lawyers and their comments about my emails and my complaints or comments and are into an innuendo. Anyway, it's become so bizarre how, as a resident of Selwyn Township who's been deprived of a building permit and for going on 10 years now, and there's now 4 lawyers that continue to misguide and advise the council, the elected council, and the management, and it's unbelievable. I'm at the point now where thinking that our court system and the procedures in dealing with municipal governments on building code issues and even zoning and bylaw, where one person can be put in charge and decide. And the fact that they took the first action, court file 269 application, for failure to comply, and which stated to submit a building permit application, and they have admitted I paid for the permit application, paid the fees, paid the discharge of the orders, and Lamar still took me to court. Anyway, it all comes down to the construction design, and the township has refused my application for freedom of information on drawings of my neighbor's plans. That's an offense there. I paid the fee, they refused, and I sent in an actual IPC review done, and it literally states that's part of the public record. Now the lawyers threaten to use my emails and to submit into court as evidence. And again, so I've asked them to also use my YouTube videos, Facebook posts, and Twitter posts. Anyway, I have to take it in stride and laugh at this. Even though my bank account's frozen, they've got me as a negative over $40,000. I can't get access to my pension that goes in the next few days again. They've drained the account, the bank, these so-called lawyers of Aaron Barris, who are municipal, and they're the most professional lawyers firm, I think, in Toronto, and they're the ones who guide our governments on certain policies, and they've made, like I said, they've actually produced the Annotated Building Code Act. So I'm at this point now where I've realized that when lawyers are involved, that they don't look at the big picture and again, they don't care about the individual's charter rights being abused. Their only concern is billable hours, and again, they won't answer who authorized the garnishment notice that was sent to the court, and because there was an order and there was no proof of the fact that I've been submitted, which I know it will get overturned, but they've even refused to, knowing what has been transpired, and I've sent in all my documentation again, they've refused to send in a removal of the notice to the courts and let it get settled. This is the games that get played. They're now trying to say that the court may not have jurisdiction. Well, as I said, under the Building Code Act, Section 25, you go to the courts to get a ruling. Now, I know that all the judges didn't want to deal with this because to them it was, I'm just an old man coming to complaining about the operational policies, and because the way I basically withdrew my claim and advisement of my lawyer John Aiden, my first claim, and I went into 2 settlement agreements, and there's been 3 settlement agreements that they've reneged on. I'm now being hit with all these costs, and now these new lawyers who won't tell me the name of who authorized them to take this notice of garnishment against me. I gotta laugh at it, because I said, if they're allowed to do this to retired individuals, can you imagine where we'll be for our grandchildren? They have created such power, and with these small municipalities, by giving them authorization, especially in Peterborough County, where we have 8 lower tier municipalities that pay for 8 chief building officials plus inspectors. This don't make sense to begin with. The fact that there's only 78,000 people in all of the 8 lower tier municipalities, and we have 17,000 in Selwyn. And out of that 17,000 residents, I have provided 4 or 5 examples of the CBO's abuse in this last response. Anyway, I've told them, I've asked them to send me the information. I'm going to run for council again, and I've even sent these new lawyers my run for council in 2014 in the Lakefield Herald's Post, where one of the most contentious issues was the building department. It was in the Post back in 2014. These lawyers are only in it now for billable hours. They're going to, I know they're going to drag me on for another 10 years, but I will not give up. There's one thing we have to do is get some changes in the administration of the Building Code Act and the operational policies of the chief building officials, because right now in Ontario there are so many people building without a permit and doing renovations because they've made it so complicated, and being the fact that they've given one person all this authority who can play the legal games and and make people jump through hoops as they've done to me. We got to stop it. Anyway, that's my report for today, and everyone have a great day, and remember, be happy. We're living in Selwyn Township, the most beautiful community, all except for the operational policies of the manager and CBO. And remember, living country style in Selwyn Township. This email came in just after I finished this video, and this is from the township's lawyer. Well, after I finished my last little video, I received an email from the township's council. They literally write, Mr. Torella, we will no longer be engaging in any further dialogue with you on these issues outside of court. We respectfully request that I consult with the council. Again, here we go. Exactly what happened the last time. They refused to discuss matters and come. It's just insane. But this is how our system is. Our government can take people to court, and it's so difficult to fight them. And as a self-represented litigant, but what's worse, these issues should not have been in court to begin with, because there's a dispute resolution under the Building Code Act. But again, even the BCC counts people, that there's 3 arbitrators at the hearing. They went against the written recommendations of the actual people who advise the council. Anyway, I'm getting myself frustrated and worked up. Anyway, this has been one hell of a challenge that I've been put through, but I'm still doing better than what's happening in Lebanon and Afghanistan and the Middle East. And even and in our own North American continent, where people are burnt out, being flooded out. But anyway, just got to keep up hoping that this gets resolved, and come next election, we get rid of these people who are in this township office. I mean, they're not all bad, but definitely Rob Lamar, the CBO, has to go, and our mayor is. I just can't believe that I've had two mayors that basically are allowing the CBO to bully and intimidate us, the residents, over. It's just insane, just insane.